Under the sky to rob, steal, or kill. I'm wondering why it's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame? My success to you, even if you wish me the opposite. Sooner or later, we'll all see who the prophet is.
So what are we calling this game? I know it's called Doom, but we all know Doom is, well, Doom. I'm going with Doom 2016. It doesn't really have a ring to it, but hell, this game doesn't need anything. It kicks so much ass. Doom is back after almost 15 years, and man, it was worth the wait. Honestly, I was never a huge Doom fan. I played the original Doom like on an old ass compact my family had, and honestly, I was young and it was way out of my league. I can beat the first level, maybe the second one, easy, but after that, man, I just couldn't do it. I was used to Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, and Street Fighter and such. I think the most adult game that I had played at that point before Doom was like Sewer Shark or something. Yeah, remember Sewer Shark? Best game ever. I honestly blame Doom for like me never really getting into PC gaming because it was just hard, and I just kind of figured all computer games are hard. On top of that, my hand-eye coordination and brain are just made to play with a controller. But in 2004, Doom 3 was released, and it was on consoles, and I liked it. Its fast gameplay, creepy parts, and dark sense of humor was cool. So needless to say, I was no super fan of Doom, but I enjoyed them to a degree. So here comes Doom, or Doom 2016. Released May 13th, 2016, which is a Friday the 13th if you didn't know. Developed by id Software and published by Bethesda. So can something so old school hold its own in this day and age of gaming? Let's find out. So you take the role of Doom Guy. Yes, Doom Guy. The main character in this game was never really given a name, he's just the Doom Guy. Anyway, you wake up on some kind of slab and, well, you start killing demons. Shit, it's Doom. What else did you expect? You grab a pistol, you grab some armor in the room next to you, and a shotgun, and the one after that. And from there on out, you just keep collecting ammo and guns and kill demons. It's the same old tune, but still so cool somehow. Demons are unleashed on Mars by meddling around with science. A portal has been opened to hell, and it's up to you to put a stop to hell on Mars. Most of the story is played out in games from holograms that kind of show out what happened before you decide up and start shooting demons in the face with a shotgun. I don't think in any other game this would work other than Doom. It has a solid foundation and a renowned story that if you don't know the story by now, you just aren't a Doom fan or not a fan of the Rock movies. Sucked, by the way. Moving on. So Doom is a beautiful game. Even if it's supposed to be dark and all about hell taking over Mars, hell and the cyber world combined, what this game gives you to a degree is kind of bland, but at the same time it's easy on the eyes. There isn't much originality here, as Doom is pretty content on giving you more of, well, Doom. Inside science laboratories functioning or on the verge of blowing up, Mars surface, and hell itself. Its surroundings cater to that of hardcore Doom fans with a straightforward plot, getting from point A to point B with some secrets sprinkled around, kill demons and have fun doing it. Doom doesn't try to reinvent the wheel here. It has mindless murder sprees with the hordes of the undead, and that's what Doom did and still does best. Loading times from level to level do take about a minute, sometimes about a minute and a half. This is the case on the Xbox One version anyway, and that's what you're watching here. When the levels do boot up, there is some pretty obvious texture load-ins, but it's not too distracting or anything, but it is obvious. Also, I had two huge glitches. One where I just fell through the bottom of the level and was floating around a bit, and another during the final boss where I beat him and a barrier formed around the kill scene, and I literally had to start from the last checkpoint and refight the boss, and there was nothing I could do about it. This probably won't happen to anyone else other than me just because my luck sucks, but the first glitch I could forgive. But man, the glitch against the last boss was such a disappointment, as honestly the entire game ran so buttery smooth without a hiccup until then. Kill animations to moving around and scaling up some of the verticality of some levels was quite impressive at sometimes, at the same token never skipping a beat when the game really got crowded with enemies. When it's all said and done, it's Doom. You shouldn't expect more than that, and honestly, I thought this reimagining, if you will, was exactly what I expected when I bought a Doom game, and it did not disappoint. Doom is a whip and switch and rapidly blast away the enemies quickly as possible without much explanation. Honestly, I feel this is much needed, to a degree. Doom realizes that it's not trying to switch up what worked before, but make it better. Senseless shooting without much to go on works, but like I said, if you know Doom, you don't expect much more. And that's what I expected going in, and if you never played Doom before, you should as well. But I assure you, while you're doing so, you will have a damn fun time doing it. The campaign is roughly around 8 to 10 hours or so, and more if you choose to explore as I did to some extent. It's also pretty easy to get turned around from your main objectives. It does give you markers as where you need to go, but never positive if where you're supposed to go is below or above you. Most of the game consists of you getting from point A to point B, and then it's horde mode time. Point A is horde mode. You quickly remove a few enemies, kill demon switch, and then enemies spawn everywhere. Complete, and then move on to point B and do it all over again. Then it's on to point C. It sounds repetitive, but Doom's combat is damn fun, and honestly, when the game gives you time to explore, you actually don't really want to. You kind of want to go back to the horde modes. Keeping tradition on your journey, you collect one hell of an arsenal, and all the familiar players are present. Shotgun, which you'll probably use the most, super shotgun, plasma gun, machine gun, rocket launcher, and of course the BFG 9000. They all have modified things that you can do with them, and they're really cool. They all use the same ammo and such, and you basically hold the left trigger to pull them out, and then you can use, like, let's say the machine gun, and it uses whole missiles, or now your rocket launcher can lock onto certain enemies and you can blast out 3 rockets real quick, or let's say your shotgun, you can now hold down the left trigger and blast out 3 shotgun shells as quickly as possible. Getting ammo isn't usually a problem, as every time you turn a corner, you will pick up some, and enemies dropping some just about every time they die. Speaking of, killing enemies can be done, of course, by shooting to death, but here Doom rewards you for kill animations, and these are awesome. So after shooting an enemy enough times, they will light up and signal that they are injured, and you can come in for the kill. You smash down the right stick and Doom does the rest of the work. Some very impressive kill animations. They all vary on the enemy you are facing and in which direction they are positioned, and also which way you come in at them. From the side, back, front, and also kills from above. All the familiar faces from Hell are here making a return, and looking more sinister than ever. There is a big variation when engaged in battle. You will rapidly need to switch up your approach to all enemy types, as some are a quick easy kill and some you will make some distance between you and them to make sure you put some shots in on them. Health packs are back, but Doom makes you play a little bit more aggressively this time. You will be continuously taking damage, and the way to actually heal yourself is to kill enemies. You get bigger health drops if you do the kill animations. Doom made me feel like I was back in 1998, where it's not a game that takes itself so damn seriously and trying to be so realistic. It focuses on being fun, and it succeeds most definitely. The gameplay here is amazing and the star of the show, without trying to copy other games that are popular out nowadays. Doom sticks to what it does best: loading up on ammo and guns and killing demons. Doom has 3 variations of PvP, or multiplayer. Classic Deathmatch, King of the Hill, but the switch up here is the hill is constantly moving around. And Freeze Tag, where your team freezes other players and vice versa, and you can lock your teammates from being frozen if you stand next to them for 5 seconds. All have a power up where you can turn into a demon and bring some havoc to the opposing force if you get to the marker that appears first, or kill someone who already has it. All in all, I didn't play much of these. To me, they were the sideshow to the campaign, and honestly, it's a type of PvP where you play more, the better you are. And you will be constantly unlocking things that can make you better. It's just not my thing, and honestly, I'm just not a multiplayer type of guy. There's also a feature where you can build your own worlds and put in demons, almost like a Mario Maker, if you will. I'm just not creative enough for this, but it will be pretty awesome to see what people come up with. Doom's campaign is the meat and potatoes here, and it's not really short, and there are a ton of secrets to explore. Also, with there being 5 different difficulty settings, there is quite a few ways to play. Once the credits rolled on Doom, I immediately wanted to put it on a higher difficulty and do it all again. Yes, it was that fun. Getting turned around a few times is a little frustrating, and there are some difficulty spikes that got me a little angry, but honestly, you know you're playing a good game when you die, and you don't really mind, because you just get to play more. And trust me, you will die, I assure it. I had a ton of fun with the campaign, and I think anyone who enjoyed Doom or Quake or any of those type of games from back in the day will, and as well as anybody, even if you're a fan of FPSs in general, you will enjoy it as well. If the story is a big deal to you, you won't find it here. It's all about gameplay. If you only like to finish a game and not play again, you might want to wait for a price drop. And if having to grind to level up your character in multiplayer to make you a worthy foe doesn't sound like your idea of a good time, Doom may not be for you at this point. But if it does, then this game is going to rock your world. Whatever the case may be, I think everyone needs to experience this game. Either now or during the price drop, because no matter what, one playthrough of the campaign or several is one hell of a ride and a good time. So this is Kamikaze Soundwaves. I hope you liked the review. Until next time, later.